Welcome to another episode of Stogie from the Road at night. Well, here we are once again, folks. We're getting ready to pick up a load here at night. Your faithful Stogie the trucker and his companion, Bonnie. Or as like we like to joke around at Taylor Transport, Bonnie and her sidekick, moi. Let's talk about a revelation I had this week. Ever since I started trucking, I've met a lot of truckers that are anywhere from second to third generation truck drivers, okay? It's been something that's bothered me greatly because I always felt like these guys, you know, they've been all, for the most part, have been a pleasure to meet, but I'm like, gosh, I didn't come from a line of truck drivers. I didn't have the granddad mentoring to me, and I didn't have that type of influence in my life when it came to trucking. So I always felt like, you know, kind of bad, like almost like I got shorted. Very superficial type of thing, nonsense, just one of those things you get into your own head. And then it hit me this week. I've got 3 sons. I've got 2 grandsons currently. I'm the first. I'm Grandpa. I'm old Grandpa the trucker. You know how things in life kind of bounce you around and eventually they make sense later? Not really understanding why you do certain things and then all of a sudden it makes sense. Well, everything's kind of come full circle for me this week and made that realization that, yeah, I'm the first in a line of maybe possible truckers someday. There's a podcast that I listen to, and I'll share it in the comments and the link below. It's called A Young Boy's Dream. It's from the Talk CDL podcast, and he talks about his young life being picked up by old Pap, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, riding in that old cab over with Grandpa. And I used to listen to that podcast, that particular one, over and over when I was going through training. And I mean, I'm telling you, if you have any heart whatsoever, this podcast will bring you to tears. It's a beautiful story. You know, it inspired me on one side, but on the other side, it made me feel bad because I wasn't that young boy and I didn't get to experience that. And then while I was listening to it, I started thinking, man, someday my grandson's going to jump up in my truck with me. Someday my grandsons or granddaughters, whatever, they're going to see me pull up in this big, beautiful, shiny rig, and it'll flick that ember into their heart about the passion of trucking. So now how I operate makes sense. My passion for trucking, my opinions on trucking, what I'm pushing for in trucking, the fight that I'm fighting in trucking makes sense. Because I'm setting a standard, hopefully, for my grandchildren and my legacy that I'm leaving behind. They're going to be able to say, man, Grandpa's truck was always shiny. Grandpa, man, I tell you what, he got out of the truck, and his shirts matched his truck, man. He had the belt buckle and the boots. And when Grandpa parked, he'd wipe down that truck and make sure it looked good. Grandpa loved trucking. And I tell you what, I'm not going to do this, that, and the other because I wouldn't be able to face my grandfather because I knew how he felt about preserving the heritage of trucking. That's why I do what I do. It's finally made sense to me when I thought I had it all figured out. You know how you live your life and you think you've got it all figured out. Well, it's making sense now. So you take that and then you put that in conjunction with naysayers, haters, people that say, oh, you're always polishing your truck. Well, look at my outlook now. You can say anything you want. You can bitch, complain, piss, moan, and point your finger at me all you want. At the end of the day, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing next generation of truck drivers. Because some of you know who I'm talking about. The ones that do it for the money only. This ain't for you. It'll never make sense to you. Because you just do it for the money. You don't do it for the love of trucking. You don't do it for the preservation of our heritage. So, in my opinion, you're late, you're left. You get left behind, you get forgotten. You get lumped into that pile of truckers right now that are a blight on this industry. I have no problem telling this sect of truckers how I feel, and I'll say it to your face, I don't care. What have you done? You bitch? That's it. So, I don't really care, because I know what I'm trying to leave behind. I know what I'm trying to leave behind for my grandsons, my sons, my legacy. And it's not even just my flesh and blood. The little kid that sees my truck in the parking lot, that remembers it. In that podcast, he talks about how pliable, how impressionable, how moldable the youth is. And I know this is a fact because it happened to me. I know when I saw my first trucks. I know when I saw my first Peterbilt, and I saw the first truckers, those cool old school truckers. I know how much that meant to me. And look where I am now, doing my best to do my part to preserve what was once great and that can still be great. So I feel like I'm fighting a righteous battle here that is unshakable, unmovable, and here to stay. The trucking world is not an easy one. There is adversity around every corner. It is not an easy life, but it's so worth it. It's a good life. It's a good, honest living. And if you love it, if you truly love it, you can make it great and you can enjoy it. I hope that someday, the days of you tell somebody that you're a trucker, it's looked upon in favor again. Because you truckers out there, you know what I'm talking about when you say, I'm a trucker. And people go, oh, okay. And they shy away. Like you're a second-class citizen and a means to an end, necessary evil of just, go truck my stuff. What's wrong with pushing and gut checking and motivating and shaking up the industry enough to say, let's make this fantastic again? What's wrong with that? And do you understand when you vocalize your disdain for anybody that is trying to do what I'm doing, all you are doing is making an outward declaration that you want to live in the comfort of mediocrity, that you want to dwell in this abysmal existence of being looked at as a second-class entity. I don't know. I'm a happy trucker. I'm always going to be a happy trucker. I'm going to have my good days, I'm going to have my bad days, but I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right where God wants me to be. People tell me, just stop, you're never going to make a difference. Okay. I've got 2 conversations and messages recently from just a Facebook post of mine about truck stops and spurring up conversations in truck stops that people have done since I made that post that have purposely went out and got people together and talking in truck stops again. That's 2 more than you. So, I'm making a difference. At least I'm trying. Guys, I hope you're happy, healthy, loving, and living life. Bonnie, this may come as a shock to you, is sleeping right now, or I have her make a little cameo appearance. Bonnie and I will see you on the back home. Giddy up.